Hello, dear listener, welcome. Settle into the soft quiet of this moment with me, as we prepare to drift into the gentle, expansive realms of thought. Allow your breath to deepen, your shoulders to release, and your mind to simply unfurl, like a delicate blossom opening to the soft moonlight. Tonight, our journey takes us into the subtle echoes of a story, a television film from 1986, carrying the evocative title, Time After Time. This isn't merely a recounting of plot, dear friend, but an invitation to contemplate the very essence of time itself, to ponder the intricate tapestry of human connection, and to explore the quiet wisdom that resides within the seemingly simple premise of a film. Let the words wash over you, a gentle current carrying you towards a tranquil shore. Time After Time. Just the title itself, isn't it? A soft whisper that stirs something deep within us? It suggests cycles, repetition, the gentle turning of the earth, the relentless, yet often imperceptible, march of moments that compose our lives. What does it mean, to experience time after time? Is it the echo of a forgotten melody, resonating in the present? Is it the recurring patterns we observe in nature, in our relationships, in our own inner landscapes? Philosophically, this phrase invites us to consider the nature of repetition. Do we, as individuals, and as societies, simply repeat the same patterns, the same mistakes, the same joys, again and again? The ancient concept of eternal recurrence, proposed by thinkers like Nietzsche, posits that all events in the universe will recur, infinitely. Imagine, if you will, the profound weight, or perhaps the liberating lightness, of such a thought. If every moment, every breath, every interaction, is destined to repeat, time after time, how might that alter our experience of the now? It imbues each fleeting second with an incredible significance, knowing it is a thread in an infinite, recurring tapestry. From a scientific perspective, the very fabric of time is a marvel. Einstein taught us that time is not an absolute, unyielding river, but rather a flexible dimension, interwoven with space, forming a single continuum known as spacetime. It can be stretched and warped by mass and energy. So, our perception of time, our experience of it, is not universal, but intimately connected to our motion, our gravitational environment. Imagine, dear one, that your quiet moment of contemplation right now is a unique, unrepeatable, yet perhaps eternally recurring in some grand cosmic dance, event within this vast, dynamic spacetime. The film's title might be a playful nod to this scientific marvel, implying that what we perceive as sequential time might hold deeper, more complex, interconnected structures. This particular Time After Time is a British-Australian television comedy film from 1986. The year itself, 1986, is a specific point in the continuum of human history. It anchors the story to a particular cultural moment, a certain sensibility. Think of the gentle hum of the mid-80s, a world on the cusp, perhaps still holding on to certain traditions, yet feeling the first stirrings of rapid technological and social change. What stories were we telling ourselves then? What anxieties, what hopes, what gentle humor permeated the air? A film is never just a film, it is a snapshot, a cultural artifact that reflects its time, yet often, paradoxically, speaks to timeless truths. It was broadcast as part of BBC's Screen 2, a venerable platform for thoughtful, often art-house, television dramas and comedies. Television itself is a fascinating medium, isn't it? Bringing stories directly into our homes, into the intimate spaces where we relax, where we live our own time after time. There's a particular warmth, a certain accessibility to a television film, a sense of shared experience with countless others, each in their own quiet living room, watching the same flickering images, sharing a moment in call. Active consciousness. And the choice of comedy, as its genre, is also significant. Laughter, in its deepest sense, is a profoundly philosophical tool. It allows us to process the absurdities of life, to confront our flaws, to navigate conflict with a lighter heart. It is, perhaps, a coping mechanism, a gentle form of resilience, helping us to endure the relentless march of time after time. The film was directed by Bill Hayes and adapted from a novel by Molly Keane, with the adaptation penned by Andrew Davies. Consider the journey of a story, dear listener, from the silent pages of a novel to the visual symphony of the screen. An author, Molly Keane, pours her observations, her insights into character, into the written word. Then, Andrew Davies, the adapter, takes this intricate verbal tapestry and reweaves it into a script, translating the internal world of the book into dialogue and action. Finally, Bill Hayes, the director, takes this script and breathes life into it, guiding actors, shaping images, orchestrating the subtle dance of light and shadow, sound and silence. It is a multi-layered creative process, a passing of the torch of narrative from one artistic hand to another, each adding their unique interpretation, their touch, across a span of time. This process itself embodies a kind of time after time transformation, where the essence of a story endures and evolves. The cast features some truly iconic names: John Gielgud, Googie Withers, Helen Cherry, Ursula Howells, and Trevor Howard, among others like Brenda Bruce, Mark Lambert, and Freddie Jones. These actors, these masters of their craft, are the vessels through which the characters truly come alive. They lend their voices, their gestures, their very being to portray the delicate nuances of human emotion. Imagine the subtle flicker in an actor's eye, the slight tremor in a voice. These are the tiny, potent ingredients that make a character feel real, that allow us to connect, to empathize. Their performances are themselves timeless, capable of touching audiences, time after time, long after the cameras have stopped rolling. John Gielgud, in particular, was nominated for a Cable AC Award for his performance. This recognition speaks to the enduring power of great acting, the ability to inhabit a role so fully that it resonates beyond the screen, leaving an indelible mark on our hearts and minds. Now, let us turn our gentle attention to the heart of the story, the premise itself, for it holds profound philosophical and perhaps even scientific echoes. A constantly bickering Anglo-Irish family live in a crumbling big house, when their lives are interrupted by the unexpected arrival of a German cousin. A constantly bickering Anglo-Irish family. Ah, the family. That fundamental unit of human society, a crucible of love, conflict, shared history, and often exasperating friction. Constantly bickering suggests a familiar rhythm, a pattern of interaction that has likely played out time after time within those very walls. Is bickering a form of communication, a way to maintain a certain dynamic, however uncomfortable? Or is it a symptom of deeper, unresolved tensions, historical wounds, perhaps even a manifestation of love expressed imperfectly? Philosophically, conflict within intimate relationships forces us to confront our boundaries, our expectations, our capacity for forgiveness and endurance. It reminds us that peace is not merely the absence of conflict, but often the product of navigating it with grace and understanding. And this specific family is Anglo-Irish. This designation, dear listener, is laden with historical and cultural weight. The relationship between England and Ireland is a long and complex one, marked by periods of profound connection, as well as deep-seated conflict, colonization, and struggle for independence. In Anglo-Irish, identity often implies a rich, perhaps conflicted, heritage, a blend of cultures, traditions, and sometimes divided loyalties. How does this historical backdrop, this shared yet often strained relationship, play out within the microcosm of a single family? Do their personal bickerings mirror the larger historical tensions between nations? This adds a layer of depth to their interactions, suggesting that their squabbles are not merely trivial, but perhaps echoes of generations of historical and cultural dynamics, repeating, subtly, time after time. This family lives in a crumbling big house. What an evocative image, isn't it? The house, in literature and film, is rarely just a dwelling. It becomes a character in itself, a silent witness to the passage of generations, a repository of memories, joys, and sorrows. And this house is crumbling. This single word opens up a vast realm of contemplation. Scientifically, crumbling immediately brings to mind the second law of thermodynamics, entropy. This fundamental principle of the universe states that systems tend towards disorder, towards decay, towards a state of greater randomness. Everything eventually breaks down, falls apart. The crumbling big house is a potent, tangible manifestation of this universal law. The bricks and mortar, once pristine, slowly yield to the elements, to the relentless pull of gravity, to the patient work of time. It's a gentle, yet powerful, reminder of impermanence, that nothing material lasts forever. Philosophically, the crumbling house is even richer. It symbolizes the decay of an era, a fading way of life, perhaps even the decline of a certain social order. It evokes nostalgia for what was, and a subtle anxiety about what is to come. A big house often represents status, heritage, continuity. When it crumbles, it suggests that these foundations are themselves eroding. Are the family's internal struggles there? Constant bickering, mirrored by the physical decay of their home? Does the crumbling structure reflect their own internal fragility, their inability to maintain what once was grand? The house holds the ghosts of past generations, the echoes of countless conversations, arguments, and laughter that have played out, time after time, within its walls. As it crumbles, these memories feel more poignant, more fleeting, clinging to decaying plaster and fading wallpaper. It raises the question, what remains when the physical shell begins to disappear? Only the stories, only the bonds, however strained, between its inhabitants. Then, into this carefully maintained, albeit decaying, ecosystem, comes an interruption. The unexpected arrival of a German cousin. The phrase, unexpected arrival, itself is a profound philosophical concept. Life is rarely a linear, predictable path. It is punctuated by sudden shifts, by external forces that disrupt our routines, challenge our assumptions, and force us to adapt. The unexpected can be a catalyst for change, a jarring note that nevertheless pushes us towards new harmonies. It reminds us of the inherent unpredictability of existence, the gentle chaos that underpins our ordered lives. And the arrival is that of a German cousin. Here again, history and culture interweave with personal narrative. For an Anglo-Irish family in the mid-1980s, the arrival of a German relative, even decades after the major conflicts of the 20th century, might still carry subtle historical echoes. It raises questions of reconciliation, of shared European heritage, of cultural understanding across national borders. How do different national identities, different cultural norms, interact when brought into the intimate, often fraught, space of family? Does the cousin bring a new perspective that challenges the established patterns of bickering? Or does their presence simply add another layer of complexity, another source of misunderstanding, another cycle in the ongoing, time after time, of family dynamics? It is an opportunity for connection, for breaking down unspoken barriers, for finding common ground despite historical distance and cultural differences. The arrival forces the family, and by extension, the viewer, to confront notions of otherness and kinship, to find humanity in the unfamiliar. So, dear friend, as you can see, even a concise premise like this opens up a universe of contemplation. Time after time, as the title is a philosophical musing on recurrence, on memory, on the very nature of existence. Its setting in 1986, as a British-Australian television comedy, speaks to cultural specificities and the universal human need for connection and laughter. The creative process, from novel to screen, reflects the enduring power of storytelling. And the premise itself, a bickering Anglo-Irish family in a crumbling house, disrupted by a German cousin, is a rich tapestry of themes: conflict, identity, historical legacy, entropy, the unpredictable nature of life, and the potential for reconciliation. Allow these thoughts to gently drift in your mind, like clouds across a vast evening sky. The idea of time after time suggests not just repetition, but also continuation, persistence, the enduring spirit of life, always finding a way to unfold, even amidst crumbling walls and constant bickering. It reminds us that even in discord, there is a kind of steady rhythm, a pulse of life that beats on, always moving forward, yet always echoing the past. As you settle deeper into your rest, take a moment to appreciate the quiet wisdom that stories, even seemingly simple ones, can offer. They are mirrors reflecting our own lives, our own families, our own grappling with the relentless, beautiful, and sometimes bewildering dance of time after time. Let the gentle current of these thoughts carry you now into the peaceful waters of sleep. May your dreams be soft, and your rest be deep and restorative. Good night, dear listener. Good night.